Hi there, I'm Exo, and this video is going to cover one of the new projects we've added called eXoWAD. Now, a big part of playing games back in the 90s, on DOS specifically, was the ability to create and download levels for some of your favorite games. And of course, you couldn't have a ubiquitous game like Doom without there being a megaton of levels out there that you could download. It got so popular, as a matter of fact, that you had a lot of compilation CDs that were released. The D-Zone series comes to mind. Basically, these publishers would go and scrape the internet and just grab hundreds of user-created WAD files and put them on a disk and sell them. It wasn't their content to sell, they didn't own the rights to it, but it didn't stop them. So what is a WAD file? A WAD file is the file that contains all the information for a level in Doom. And it seemed like even though in eXoDOS we have Doom, we've got Doom 2, we've got, if you look on the menu here, we've got all kinds of Dooms. We've even got newer ones like Sigil. We didn't really have a representation of all these user-created files. And so we put together the eXoWAD project. The idea here was to try to capture all of these WAD files that existed out there, but without drowning the user. It doesn't really make sense to put out or try to include 3,000, 4,000 WAD files. It's going to bury the user in choice. There's going to be too much to pick from, and the good stuff was far and few between. And that's part of the challenge back then in downloading a WAD file, was you were trying to find something worth playing, and most of these were being generated by kids that didn't have a lot of skill. I mean, some was adults that didn't have skill too, and some of the kids had amazing skill. But for the most part, whether they were kids or adults, there was a very low threshold for entry into the world of creating a WAD file. Anyone could download an editor program and crank anything out that they wanted to. So, with all that said, eXoWAD, we'll fire it up here. The first thing you're going to notice is an option. Do you want to run it using the original DOS port of Doom? Or do you want to run it using GZDoom, a Windows port? Now, the reason that was important is because a big part of this project is going to Doom World, and they had a list of the top 10 WAD files each year. So we took the first 10 years, and I grabbed the top 10 files for each of the first 10 years. Now, unfortunately, as you get to, that goes into the 2000s. The first year is going to be 93. And so we go all the way to 2002 with these WAD files, I believe. And by 2002, people were already writing these files for non-DOS-based versions of Doom. So I decided to add the GZDoom option, which it launches the exact same menu that you would have if you go to the DOS version, but now every level is playable. Let's go to the DOS version for now. Now, I have it running in window mode because OBS is the streaming software I'm using here. It's not real friendly right now with OpenGL support on full screen DOSBox. We got this nice little ANSI that was created for us by one of our users on the Discord, Flinsbit. Thank you for that. You get to pick your sound first. Let's go with Sound Blaster, that's what everyone knows. Now, I'll mention real quick here, this menu system is really neat. You can see at the bottom there, written by bbond007. Very kindly provided to our project to use. You can press 1, 2, or 3. You can use the cursor keys to select. You can also use the mouse. Now we get a lot of people that want to play eXoDOS with a controller, and these menus make that difficult. So in this case, you can use a controller if you'd like. So I'm going to use the mouse, and I'm going to click on single player. Most levels do work in multiplayer. It's just kind of hit or miss if it's going to be fun or not. If they didn't program it for multiplayer, you're going to have a bad time with people spawning on top of each other and not having any time to find a weapon. So we're going to single player here, and I think... Ooh, I'm just thinking really hard. There we go. There we go. Our WAD selector. The first option. Sorry. None of this is rehearsed. We are going 100% off the top of our head here. The Doom World top 100 WADs. We'll jump into that in a moment. Bonus WADs is pretty fun. This is going to be, for example, the 11th Guest CD-ROM. It had on it a extras folder that had a Doom WAD that was a recreation of Stavros Mansion from the game. This was not I mean, it wasn't super common, but it wasn't unheard of for developers to create things like that and hide them. The Atari Corporate Offices is a tie-in to the National Video Game Museum WAD. There's a secret exit in this WAD that will take you to the Atari Corporate Offices. Now, unfortunately, the Video Game Museum WAD was programmed for ZDoom, not for DOS. However, if we go launch that Windows version I mentioned earlier, we can actually play it. This is kind of neat. GZPT. This is a recreation of the PT demo in ZDoom. And then One Humanity was released to support Ukraine. By the time this releases for version 6, I will likely have added the My House WAD to this menu, as it got a lot of press this year and was quite interesting. The trick will be figuring out how to include all the bonus material. The My House WAD, if you have not heard of it, is a very interesting WAD file that is somewhat of a horror game in terms of psychological, and it's based on some poetry. I believe it's House of Leaves, and reading through the documentation is necessary for understanding what is happening. For now, we're going to pop back, and before we go to that top, you'll see here we have the really shitty WADs. No selection of WADs would be complete without some really bad ones, and I feel this is important because one might be led to believe that all the WADs back then were amazing, and as I mentioned earlier, they were not. I picked 10. They're not in any particular order, but they do tend to get worse as you go down the list, with Pimp Adventures being... Well, I'll leave it to you to explore that one. Ironically, some of these were released commercially, like 7 Cybdem. The Jason Wayman's 30 Levels of Doom is amazing in that it is 30 levels. It's not just one. It's a whole episode. Well, more than one, I guess. It's about 3 episodes worth of levels. And they are all horrible. So kudos to Jason Wayman for his persistence. Now, how did I determine the worst? I did a lot of Googling. I looked at a lot of threads. Some of these are obviously bad, and some of these you might feel are fun. Nuts is interesting. It was designed to put as many bad guys in as possible without crashing the system, and it still probably is going to crash on you. You might need the... While it will run in DOS, it doesn't run very well. Now, we're going to drop back here to the top 100, and you'll see 1994 is the first year. You have the top 10 here for that year. Now, if you go to Doom World's page, you can read all about why these were picked. What's kind of cool about this is it's not just levels. A WAD isn't just a single level. Sometimes it can be a total conversion. For example, the Aliens total conversion here. Now, another cool thing is a total conversion used to be, well, not straightforward to set up. You might have to replace files, you might have to patch files, and then when you were done, you'd have to unpatch your files to get your regular Doom back. eXoWAD takes care of all of it for you. So let's take a look at the Alien Total Conversion. We'll click on that. Every single level that was included with the text file is present and will display for you at the time you launched it. So we're going to click through this file. It's the same one you would have read back in the day, so it's probably going to have a lot of information that you don't need right now. Story so far, how it's different, some descriptions about the levels you got here. There's a lot of text. This guy had a lot to say. And there we go. Doom is now running Aliens TC. It's letting us know it's been modified. Here's our screen. Game. That was loud. Alien. Need to fix the volume here. And we are now in Aliens Total Conversion. Now, I don't know how far we gotta go here to find an alien. Pretty sure there's one hiding right in this first little room. Like the movie, though, it's meant to be a slow burn. so they don't run them right at you. Oh, no, we need a blue key for that one. Let's go look at a total conversion that gives you an immediate. Keep it moving. You'll notice the sounds were different. In some of the total conversions, not only are the sounds different, and of course the enemies have been sprites have changed, but totally new weapons too. We're gonna pop back over here, launch back into it again. Let's see, there is a Batman one that's a little bit later. Now, there it is, Batman Doom, 1999. Before we jump into it, I'm going to show you, here we go. Starting in 2000, you can see here Hell Factory, Zanzan, and Atomic Tomb require ZDoom or Boom to run. So these are the first three you're going to come across that you cannot play in DOS. And then as you move on to 2001, you got two more. And then by the time you get to 2002, we have another three. In 2003, the final one, most of them are not playable in DOS, but you got a few. Scythe, Brotherhood of Ruin, and Help You're Selfish can all be played in basic vanilla Doom. We'll go back here to Batman Doom. Now notice we didn't do anything after we left that game, but it's all been reset. We go to the new game, menu here. We got skill levels. Alright, here we are. And you can see everything's been changed with this guy here. This is basically a different game. You can even see the bullet, which I think that's really impressive. Instead of an invisible batarang shooting out, you get to watch it and it makes connection with the fellow that you're shooting it at. Ooh, box of batarangs, gotta have those. There's some really unique stuff in here. There's a grapple gun, if I remember correctly. Doesn't go in there. Going to the bank. The bank. Alright. No, we're not going to the bank. Ah, here we go. That is a obnoxious wallpaper. Okay, ooh, look at this. He's a tall dude. Yeah, that's right. Oh. Got some Batman cowls, makes my armor better. Here. Let's see if we can't find the first. Oh. Strong dude. That isn't. It even has an animation when they go down. I mean, there's a lot of time and effort put into this WAD. We're gonna get on the train here. Can we go through the doors? No. So far, I've not found a door you can open. There we go. Found one. Everyone leaves a Batman hood on the thing sometimes. Oh, he's big. Oh, get back. Leave me alone. What is that? Man. Who eats 7 batarangs before they go down? That guy, apparently. He was hungry for it. Okay, so health is a potion. Need a blue key. Alright, well. This is a nice sample of how this game looks and what a turbo conversion can do for you. Some odd sounds in there as well. Now we're going to launch one more time here, and this time we are going to go over there we go. Let's go to a really bad one. Let's go to nuts and let's kill the whole machine. All those little things on the screen there are enemies. You can see all the pink monsters in the front. You got some... There's a Revenant there, it looks like, behind them. Oh, here we go. You got the imps down there. Come here and get this BFG. Get lots of ammo for it. Now, you can't get back up here again. So it is important to not leave this area until we are ready. Okay. We're pumped up. We're going to grab that guy. And let's see here. And we've woken them all up. Oh my goodness. It is eating. Now, I've played this quite a few times, and in the Windows port where it's actually somewhat playable, I don't think there's enough ammo in this entire level to actually win. Oh my goodness, those revenant missiles are just destroying me up here. We're not going to be able to get out, I don't think. Oh my goodness. And now they're going to kill each other. I think to win that level, to even have a chance, you pretty much have to drop down and run loops around them to let them kill each other for a long time. I'm going to quit before it just destroys my entire stream. With that said, that is eXoWAD. Now, it is not the only game that we have done a deep dive on. We have a few others. I'll do different videos for those. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to getting this out and getting feedback on this project. Thank you.